I'll just use the Nigerian example as a case study. We've had various kinds of conflicts across the country. In the northeast, of course, the Boko Haram crisis, and in the northwest and across the wide stretch of northern Nigeria, we've had the banditry, the terrorist bandits, and it's also the case in southern Nigeria. But I think that when it comes to the role of women in security and peace building, their roles are underplayed. They are more visible as victims. They are more visible as those who are the endpoint of receiving the mass atrocities. When you talk about most of the gender crimes that happen, like rape, abduction, and also that they have to look after their children despite the challenges that comes with the crisis, they're more visible. However, when it comes to security and peace building, you don't see a lot of them. And that's not because they don't have something to offer. It's because many times their roles are underplayed. However, the point must be made that for any crisis to be resolved in a sustainable manner, you need those who are the most affected and those who understand the dynamics of it from different tangents to be on the table, and that's really about women. When you look at the Niger Delta crisis, many of the issues were about resource control and also the oil spill and how it affects the Niger Delta communities. Women were raped as well. And then the assumption was that at the point where there would be the resolution, that those women should be the ones again to be consulted. Unfortunately, what we find is that many of them still became double victims. So, for instance, for the women who were raped, they were tossed aside because of the stigma that goes with it. They're not allowed to engage in certain kinds of conversations and certain kinds of social activities. The trouble with that is that if you're not able to deal with today's victims, they may end up becoming tomorrow's combatants. While people always speak about crisis and they talk about women just as victims, you can also have them as perpetrators because once you have a woman in that field of play, then you know it makes it even more complicated and complex. So I would say that the gender, nuances that comes with conflicts and how women are viewed needs to change. If you want to have a situation where the resolution of these conflicts and security and peace building will be in a sustainable manner, then women need to be brought to play. In Kaduna State, there are quite a number of women who have been working in the field to try to find solutions to the conflict. And what you see is once they get into the field, they are able to attend to the things that people may not be able to pay attention to. So they have more eyes for details. Say, for instance, what helps in terms of psychosocial support. They understand that the more you band victims together, they would have their own local way of finding psychosocial support. And typically it is women who are able to identify that. Because also of the way that men have been, wired to act, they feel like they cannot, attend to their emotions, the negative emotions that they feel. That doesn't mean that they don't rise to the surface. But you see, when you have women included in security and peace building, they're able to explain to you why their men will act the way they do and what should be the resolution. They're also able to pick up nuances about breakdown of law and order and why children will act in a certain way and why they themselves would act in a certain way due to the nature of the conflict and how it has affected them. So these are some of the dynamics that need to be further explored. And when again we look at how that we have quite a number of women who have been abducted, and we map it out from the Chibok girls to the Dapchi girls to quite a number of women who have now, some of them we're told, have now been shipped out of the shores of the country and are sex slaves. It will take the women themselves to be able to know how we can find lasting solutions to these problems, particularly because for some of these women and girls who are now returning, there needs to be a form of integrating them back to the society without jeopardizing